Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Chip Theory fans, and Happy New Year. I know we're on. What is the date today? We're halfway. We're halfway through January already. Oh goodness! But Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We haven't talked to you yet in 2026. I do not believe, unless my memory is failing me, which it might be because I drink a lot of Coke Zero, and supposedly the aspartame will eat holes in my brain and eventually ruin my memory. That's how we're starting 2026, with talk about holes being eaten in brains and aspartame and all that good stuff. But good morning, Happy New Year. My name is Josh Welgus. You know me as Gilly, and we're here with our first live stream of 2026, ready to show off. And the lights are adjusting. Lights are adjusting. Do I look more attractive? Let me know in the chat. Don't let me know in the chat. I can't see the chat also, by the way. So like I have a separate doc up that is
Lily's attractiveness.
yeah. Swipe left, swipe right, or don't do that. There's no YouTube mechanism for swiping, unfortunately. I can start a survey. Yeah, don't start a survey. I already know a survey is likely on its way. Okay. Anyway, happy 2026. Good morning, and welcome to our first live stream of the year. We are here to show off some Cloudspire 20 Strong, which we have not shown off the final production version of that yet. But before we do that, we're going to do some Q&A. So if you've got questions about anything in the CTG-averse, please, I beg you, put them in the chat. Don't rate my attractiveness. Ask us questions. I'm here to answer everything that you ever wanted to know until you know everything you've ever wanted to know, and then we'll transition over to some Cloudspire 20 Strong. Before we do that, a few different just like general updates. I do have a update for Cloudspire fulfillment that is about halfway written that should be going out today. The general gist of it is that most places are done or close to done, with the exception of Europe. Over the holidays, the container, which was meant to arrive the first week of January with Spiral Galaxy, has slowly been like being pushed back, just like a little bit. But it will be arriving with Spiral Galaxy very, very soon. Within the week is the last that I have heard. So. So letting you guys know about that. We have about, I think, 300 or 400 orders left to get out here at our CTG HQ, and we have moved our entire fulfillment operation onto those last remaining orders now. Holidays were crazy. Our fulfillment team put out over 10,000 orders over the course of the holiday season. That includes like GameFound fulfillment and that kind of thing. But it was just an absolutely insane holiday season. Because also along with all of the fulfillment that was going on, we also took in, I think, 4 different containers over the holiday season, which basically take an entire day and a whole bunch of staff to unload. So things have been crazy. Things have been crazy around here, and we are happy to be largely on the other side of all that. But still working on Cloudspire. Spiral Galaxy will be beginning fulfillment by the end of this month. It is going to take them a bit. These are complicated orders that have very, very few uniform configurations across the board. Dragons fulfillment, I believe, has entirely wrapped for Dragons of Etchenstone. Everywhere. We just finished wrapping up pre-orders yesterday. So that is in process, and there will be language edition updates coming for all of the campaigns that are still outstanding here very, very soon. I'm not going to try and run down a list of all of the different language stuff because, again, it varies massively across the board. But that's just a kind of a general state of things. In addition to that, at the end of this month, from January 26th through January 30th, we are attempting to launch a brand new thing. And that thing is, we're calling it CTG Week. So January is usually like a very kind of slow month for us in terms of sales, in terms of news. It's just like we're in the thick of the winter doldrums here in Minnesota. January is the coldest month of the year, generally speaking. And we wanted to try and just put some energy into January where it usually doesn't. So from January 26th through the 30th, we are going to have a whole bunch of stuff happening, both in terms of live streaming events, and we are also going to be running a very, very aggressive sale that is not the same as our holiday sales, but we're trying to go aggressive on several things over the final week of January. So look forward to that. We'll have a launch stream on the 26th. We're going to show off some Jump Masters gameplay and have some questions and answers on the 27th. So if you're not aware, because we've sort of been stealth talking about it, Jump Masters is coming to GameFound next month. And it is launching on February 8th. Is that correct? Am I right about that?
Checking.
10th?
Tuesday.
Yeah, okay, the 10th is a Tuesday. So February 10th, Jump Masters. We will have a preview page coming very, very soon that you can follow. This is our new game from Neon Night Games, new design from Manny. It is a very, we're calling it a cute throat game. We're still workshopping that to see if it lands, but it is it's a twist on basically Chinese checkers mechanics, and with dice and unique heroes and asymmetry. But it also takes about 5 seconds to learn, and it is deceptively brutal and confrontational and strategic, and we're really, really excited about this one. If you ordered anything over the holidays, you've already received at least one promo card for Jump Masters, and so that campaign is coming next month, launching on the 8th. That is 10th? 10th. Launching on the 10th of February. And again, we'll have a preview page up for that live, and then we will be showing your first look at gameplay on the 27th during CTG Week. On the 28th, we are going to be previewing our some of our 20 Strong Awaken Realms trilogy of decks content. So again, coming in April, we have, I don't know if we've formally announced that yet, but coming in April, we will be running our 20 Strong Awaken Realms trilogy of decks on GameFound. These are, again, these are decks that we had hoped to actually run as a campaign last summer, but because of tariffs and other production delays, we did not want to run that campaign until 20 Strong Tanglewoods was out in the world, so we have delayed it into this year. The good news about that is that these decks are largely finished already from a design and graphics standpoint. And so we are very ready to start showing them off to all of you. And so you can expect some preview content around 20 Strong Awaken Realms on January 28th during CTG Week. On the 29th, we'll be doing some Elder Scrolls Heroes of Tamriel stuff. You've seen a lot of that stuff already, but we have more to show, and everything is getting into a much more finished state. So on the 29th, we will be focused on the Elder Scrolls Heroes of Tamriel. And then on the 30th, we'll be doing some content with the new Cloudspire factions that are in the process of fulfilling and showing off. And then just closing out CTG Week from a streaming standpoint. So we will have some guests in office that you have not necessarily seen on stream before, one of which is potentially my brother, which, just gives you a peek into the nepotism involved at Chip Theory Games. But also Devin Norris, who many of you may know from Devin Talks Tabletop. He was a content creator back in the day, but also now works for us in our marketing department. He will be here in studio doing some streaming and being on camera and stuff as well during that week, which will be kind of fun and be a nice change of pace. So expect tons and tons of just coverage and streaming content throughout that week, along with some really, really awesome sales and possibly some other just news and exciting things that will be coming. So if you want to make sure you see all of the CTG Week content and you want to make sure you're alerted when it's happening and you can be the first to know a lot of this exciting stuff, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, if the lighting change made me more attractive, please like and subscribe to our channel. If the lighting change made me less attractive, please like and subscribe to all of our content, so that you can tell us exactly how much you enjoy all of our content and help us continue to invest. There's a new teleprompter over here. I'm not being fed any lines, but I could be. I could be right now if we were using the new teleprompter. We've got some new camera lenses. We're continuing to invest in upping the quality of all of this stuff because, again, our YouTube channel just continues to grow, and we're really excited about that. So, yeah. So anyway, with all of that said, I think that's all of the significant. I have one other possible announcement I may make on this stream. We'll see if any questions get at it a little bit, and otherwise, maybe I'll save it. Sorry, what?
It has been asked.
Oh, it has. Okay, so I'll when we get to that question, I will share that news. So yeah, let's jump into some of these questions so that you can stop listening to me just fill time with dead air. It's quite obvious the Cloudspire system is modular, allowing for scenario setup. Any thought as to producing a guidebook for scenario creation? This would complete Cloudspire. We completed Cloudspire. You've been asking me for decades to complete Cloudspire, and we finally did it, and now you're saying no. No, I need something else. That's an interesting question. So we ran, this was probably, 4 years ago at this point, 5 years ago, I don't even know. We ran a contest to like create your own Cloudspire scenario, and then we were going to basically like take a look at those and possibly even compile them into a scenario book that was like a fan created scenario thing. Without getting too much into it, those scenarios were not great. Every Cloudspire scenario that you've ever played, they need to be play tested to like the nth degree, and they are, generally speaking, they're like kind of balanced on an absolute razor in terms of like success, failure, and that kind of thing. I think that's what appeals to a lot of people. In terms of doing a guide for creating them, I don't know. That's interesting. As somebody who, not in this last batch of content, but in the original release, and then also Heroes Bounty, developed a lot of those scenarios. If I were putting together a guide for it, I think like the first thing I would say is like have fun and play, because that's a lot of what it was like setting out a map in a really, really odd configuration that we hadn't done yet and being like, well, what could we do on this one? And just kind of messing around and, twisting one or two mechanics. So I don't know that we could put together a really, really great guide of like, because like, some game development goes a lot of different ways. A lot of people just do math, and that's how you balance things initially. Like Cloudspire, at least for me, developing those scenarios was one, working with Ryan Howard to make sure that we had a like compelling narrative to tell in a given scenario. But then two, just a lot of goofball experimentation, and then making Salem play through it like 100 times and telling me what was working and what wasn't. So, I don't know. I don't know that we could put together a guide or not. But I would say if you're interested in creating your own scenario, honestly, the best thing you can do is just set crazy stuff up and try some things and see what works and what doesn't. I don't know that it's any more like, I don't know that there's much more structure to it than that, to be totally honest, at least the way that I work. Next time that Ryan or Salem are on stream, could ask them how they went about designing their scenarios for this last batch of content. But it really was very simple in that regard for me. Italian Strategist here. Question for Gilly. Any news about new language partners for Heroes of Tamriel? I have not heard any news on that aside from, again, everybody that is working on the Elder Scrolls and trying to get a language edition out is very interested in maximizing that work, and we have no reason to believe that any of them are not going to want to do Heroes of Tamriel. So that's all I can really say right now. Again, over the holidays, like there's just a lot. It's like a kind of a dead zone for communication across the board for a lot of folks, and so only in the last week are we starting to kind of get our arms back around exactly what's like going on everywhere across the board. So I've had a couple emails with our language translation agent and licensor, and he hasn't had any news on that regard. But again, I don't interpret that as bad news in the slightest. It's just we're not quite there yet. And one of the things we're trying to do with language editions across the board, again, is like not offer not offer a ton of detail and information until we are actually done with the English edition of the thing, so that our language edition partners have a much better idea of what they're working with. It's weird doing things with crowdfunding and language partners. We've talked about this ad nauseum already, but one of the reasons for that is because you have language partners who are signing up to do a thing that's like half finished, and they don't even necessarily know exactly what they're signing up for in terms of like word count and the amount of work. There's a lot of estimation that goes into that, but it's still not like, it's not final yet, right? So we are dev complete, as we mentioned in the last update, on Heroes of Tamriel. Like the content is done. We know the word count now, and very little of it is using like a new framework or a new template, with the exception of like Shadows of Oblivion. So there will be a lot more news about that coming soon. And again, language partners right now, they just really want to get the initial stuff done, which has taken a very long time, obviously. And until that stuff is done, I think a lot of them are loath to like speak at length or really, really hardcore commit to the next chapter. They want to finish chapter 1 before they worry and even put mind share to chapter 2, basically. So yeah, no news for the time being. There will be. You can have confidence in that. Okay. So somebody saw my comment this morning, and yeah. So here's that question. I have a question for Gilly, non-Cloudspire related. And by the way, none of these questions need to be Cloudspire related. This is a general Q&A. We're doing 20 Strong Cloudspire today, but like, don't worry about asking questions about any and all things. I read in a Facebook group, it would have been the Board Game Geek Facebook group, that there is a new Roth expansion in the making. So yes. Roth has been, at least at the PvP level, has been a really, really big success for us, and it continues to like garner more and more momentum. Tim Chuan gave it his game of the year just like a couple days ago, and we happen to know that there is some other very positive coverage coming for Roth very, very soon that will also likely move the needle in a very awesome way. So yes, more Roth coming this summer. When this summer? Probably July, but TBD. And here's what's happening. So many of you are aware of the Neon Knight label, right? I talked about Jump Masters coming next month, February 10th. Got that date locked and loaded in my brain. A lot of you know about our Neon Knight label, whether you've purchased Fight 5 or Neon Rain or just been observing from the sidelines. It's our collaboration imprint with Manny Tremblay, and the very first collaboration that we were doing with Manny was like the Tanglewoods universe with 20 Strong. And then the second collaboration with Manny was the game Roth, which he pitched to us. And when Manny pitched Roth to us, it was a very like retail friendly title. The little plastic tokens and everything, they were just wooden cubes. Everything was going to be cardboard, etc. And we were like, well, that's cool, but we're chip theory, so we can't do that. So we have to take it to the next level. Are you comfortable with that? And Manny was like, yeah, that's cool. I would still love it to be like super affordable and easy to purchase, but it's fine. We can do the chip theory thing with it. Fast forward a few months later, we decide to go in on the Neon Knight collaboration, which is much more geared toward not chip theorifying everything, not doing the maximum level of production on absolutely everything, and instead going with the model that a lot of other companies use, which is the whole like retail and deluxe situation. Okay, so all of that has transpired in the last 2 years or so, and so fast forward to this summer, and with Neon Knight now established, and with the original vision for Roth kind of being this more affordable, lightweight or lighter weight, medium weight, I would say, area control title, we are going to be doing a retail version of Roth released under the Neon Knight label coming this summer, along with TBD number of new factions, possibly a standalone-ish expansion configuration. Still talking through a few different things on that regard, but we are very, very excited about Roth's future, and we think it is going to be a very, very big deal for us moving forward. And we also think that the accessible and easy to learn nature of it is going to make it very, very successful at the retail level with a less expensive version and a less overproduced version. We will be continuing to do the chip theory version with neoprene and with all the fancy tokens and the PVC cards and all that kind of thing. But for people who are not as into the super, fancy pants version of things that chip theory does, this will be an opportunity to kind of take Roth back to Manny's original vision for the game and hopefully make it accessible to a whole bunch of new people. We're taking a look at the solo and co-op mode. We know that has not been as well received, and there may be some either changes or fixes or updates or that kind of thing to the solo and co-op mode. We have nothing to announce at that time because we're still kind of researching and diving into what exactly that would, could, or should look like. But again, the PvP for the game has just been off the charts successful for us, and again, it just looks unlike anything else on the market with its absolutely crazy neon visuals, and we just still absolutely love it. So anyway, yes, stay tuned. More Roth coming this summer, probably July. We'll see, but probably July. All right, 20 strong questions. 20 strong nemesis. Yeah, it's not. Is that? I don't.
I grouped them because they're all similar in nature.
Got it. Okay. 20 strong nemesis? Question mark is the question. Yes. Period is the answer. Yes! Exclamation point is the answer. Where is 20 strong Awakened Realms? When Awakened Realms? I need it now. I just told you moments ago. Maybe you asked this question before I answered it. But 20 Strong Awakened Realms is coming in April. And that one is April, I think that's April 14th.
That sounds correct.
Is what we have penciled in on the calendar for that campaign. It's the Tuesday of the second week of April.
That is correct.
The 14th. There, that one I got right. Is the tentative launch date for that campaign. And I don't see anything getting in the way of that, but that is what we are looking at right now. It will be it should be the quickest turnaround on release that we've ever done. I realize I've said that about other games in the past that have not necessarily always come to fruition. But again, because this campaign was meant to run last summer, and we're now pushing it almost an entire year forward. I mean, these decks are like ready to go. We're ready to show them off again. During CTG Week, you will see that they are in a very, very like polished and kind of finished state already. So there's always little tweaks that we're making, like behind the scenes forever, but until things actually go to print. But these are very buttoned up, and they're really good. They're really, really good. We're excited for you to see them. When will 20 Strong Cloudspire come out of pre-order and be available to buy on the web store? That will be whenever we are like pretty much done with Cloudspire Harbinger fulfillment. So again, the UK and Europe are like the last leg of that. The fact that container has continued to kind of get a little bit slow rolled and delayed has unfortunately cramped our style a little bit on that, but we want to finish fulfillment of Harbinger, and then we will be releasing formally 20 Strong Cloudspire. But if you pre-order it now, it will ship as soon as we're able to ship it. So, don't hesitate to pre-order. If you're like, yeah, I just want to buy it the day it comes out, just pre-order it. You'll be one of the first people to get it. So, any future 20 Strong teases and also Dragons of Etchinstone Canada fulfillment update? Okay, I said I think Dragons is done. I also, as I said that, realized that I don't know that it has arrived in Canada just yet, but it might have. I need a Dragons update out this week or early next week anyway, so I will have that information in that coming update. We did just have, this is not an excuse, but I should also just let you know that our operations assistant and operations manager, Stacy, she is moving on to a different job closer to her home, and she is the best. She's not deceased. She's still alive, thankfully. But she is moving on to a different opportunity with a much, much easier commute. And And so we have had a little bit of turnover just in our like logistics tracking and that kind of thing, some of those communications. So that is also part of a little bit of the holdup with some of these updates and a little bit of the gaps in my information. But we'll have information coming on that very, very soon. Future 20 Strong news or teases. Not past Awaken Realms. There is stuff cooking in the background. They're hopefully not burning, but like there is stuff cooking in the background, and there again, like it's been a huge success for us. Lots of cool ideas coming in the future, but like right now we've got. I mean, we just released 4 decks with Tanglewoods, in the last like 2 months. We've got 3 more that are like largely finished and getting ready, to go to a campaign in April, which will have a very fast turnaround. And then yeah, there's just other stuff. There's just other stuff happening in the background. But 20 Strong is going strong, and there will be absolutely more content in the future. But nothing to announce right now, and frankly, nothing fully concrete even like that I could announce right now. There's a lot of ideas and a lot of things and a lot of mechanics that are being worked on in the background, but things like themes and art styles and even whatever licenses, all that kind of thing, that's all still, like, nothing is set in stone on any of that stuff. So are the Cloudspire minis going to be Black Friday exclusive from now on? I don't think that's the intent, but they just, we have limited stock on them and they're expensive to produce. And so I think again, a lot of that stuff is like, we are waiting to see what we have left after Harbinger has fully fulfilled before we put those back out into the universe. How are the wonderful CTG employees in fulfillment holding up? They're doing an amazing job and deserve a nice vacation. This sounds like it's being asked by somebody on our fulfillment team, but I'm not sure. Yes or no? Again, our fulfillment team did legitimately. They killed it over the holidays. I know there was plenty of people who were like, "Where's my order? Where's my order?" Things were taking time, but again, well over 10,000 orders went out over the holidays, and again, in addition to basically an entire week's worth of container unloading as well. They're doing great. They're glad the holidays are over because that is a stressful time. Will we be visiting London and France during CTG Week? What? I don't know. I don't get it. What is next for Dragons of Etchenstone? I don't think anything. I mean, there's Siege is really, really, really crunchy. If you haven't tried Siege yet, please do. North Vale is also very, very crunchy. Play that. If you've already played a ton of Dragons and you're like, yeah, I'm over it. I'm ready for what's next. I don't know that we'll be doing anything else in that universe necessarily, though I would never say never to that. But as we continue to say repeatedly, like one of the reasons we released Dragons was to see if people are excited about this like kind of micro form from Chip Theory. And I think the answer to that has been yes, but Dragons also, we had to tap the brakes on, and I don't know if there's going to be any questions on this, but I can address it also just proactively. Wait, what is this at the bottom? Note from it. Don't put notes to me on like page 3 if you expect me to read them, Andrew. Oh, I see. Okay, all right. Yeah. So on the Dragons front, we have had some issues with printing. So right now we're sitting, you may have seen reports online that some of the cards are wearing very, very, very prematurely, which is very, very odd. Right now we're sitting at about a like 5% error rate or issue rate on Dragons of Etchenstone. And that is much higher than what we would normally like to see. Generally speaking, we want to see between 0.5% to a max of like 2%, 2 or 3% issues on any given print run. And, we've fulfilled whatever, I think like 8,000 copies of the game, and we're seeing about a 5% issue rate right now. So number one, want to also say we're kind of delaying the release because we have talked to our manufacturer on Dragons and we're not happy with the quality level, even though it was printed with the same company that we've done all of our PVC cards with largely, and we've never had issues like this before. But we are happy to replace any copy that has any issues, but we are also delaying the release of the formal release of the game outside of the pre-orders that we've sent out until we have our arms further around some of the issues that we're seeing. So I just want to say unequivocally, I don't care if this happens in a year. I don't care if this happens in 2 years. If you have any issues with your copy of Dragons, please submit a ticket. Please let us know. We have you covered. We will get you a replacement. We guarantee that we'll get you a copy that is like shiny and beautiful and will hold up to innumerable plays. But yeah, for the Dragons line specifically, nothing is currently planned, but we are very open to working with Joe on other games that he has maybe designed. If he designs a sequel to Dragons, we'd be very, very interested in looking at that. I just don't know that it will come as a campaign in the future. Again, the campaign was more of a proof of concept to show that there was actually market interest for this type of thing. Future games that are of a pocket nature would likely just be released direct to our web store and to retail, but we will see on that. Apparently our fulfillment team is in the chat saying, I did not ask that question about the fulfillment team. But I agree with the note here from Andrew that says that's exactly what somebody would say if they didn't want to be found out for asking that question. So we'll see. No questions. I love your games. Appreciate your generosity and look forward to every time I get to play Cloudspire. Too Many Bones. Thank you. Thank you for those comments. Those genuinely are the things that help us push through challenging and stressful times. TMB2. I don't think you can replace my still all-time favorite game, Too Many Bones, but I'd like to hear about your attempt with Too Many Bones 2 or whatever you plan to call it. Yeah, I still can't really talk about that other than to say it is the 10-year anniversary of the original Too Many Bones campaign, and there is exciting stuff coming in the Too Many Bones universe this year, and we will announce it in due time. I can't hold the awkwardness any longer. That was bothering me.
Add a few more winks for good measure.
Yeah, much more Too Many Bones 2 or whatever we decide to call it news coming in due time. You have my word on that. We are anxious to celebrate 10 years of Too Many Bones existing in some capacity this year. And there's cool stuff coming. There's cool stuff coming. That's all I can say at this time. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, another question about Dragons Convention starting in Canada. I had that wrong. We're not done fulfilling it in Canada yet. That's my bad. Don't worry. Don't panic. It's fine. It's coming on the container or on the next container. I just need to get an update on when that container is arriving, but it's coming. I promise. You have my word. For Cloudspire, will there be at any point endless rules for the new factions? Most likely not. We just didn't find that mode being played much or enjoyed by people, generally speaking, when we did a little bit of market research to that end. So most likely not. Apologies if you really love endless mode. I do need to let you know that unfortunately you are in the minority if you love endless mode. That doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means what you think is not very popular, and you should feel bad about that. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, generally speaking, it's not a mode that we were seeing engaged with at all. And part of the calculus for getting this last wave of Cloudspire content out into the world was that we needed it to fit within a relatively contained development timeline. Again, I've talked about this a lot, and everybody thinks that I hate Cloudspire, and that's fine, whatever. I'm willing to be the punching bag for that at this point, but it is a game that has continued to sell exceptionally well on campaigns and do lovely campaigns for us, which makes it very worth doing, for the record. And we're very, very excited about how well the Harbinger campaign did. It is, however, still an uphill battle to sell it outside of campaign because it is a crunchy niche title that appeals to a very, very certain subset of folks. And so so we have to be careful about that in terms of like how the development timeline works and how the release timeline works on any Cloudspire project. And so we found that window to do it. But part of that was that we needed to be as efficient as possible. And when like kind of factoring out like, would people rather have more solo co-op scenarios or would they rather have endless mode? In order to get it released affordably in the way that works for CTG and works for fans as well, we had to make, we decided to cut the endless mode out of those factions simply because we knew they weren't being played much by folks. So again, apologies if you really love endless mode and that's a thing that you love. I wouldn't be shocked to see a like fan created endless mode come out for any of those factions because I know that all of you Cloudspire fans out there are super passionate, but it is likely not something we are going to take time to do internally. If we did, it would be released likely just as a PDF through the website. So
someone in the chat is already talking about making a custom.
I believe it. I believe it. We would love to see that and we would love to support it. And if it's awesome, honestly, send it to us and we would genuinely look at releasing it in an official capacity. Again, likely as a PDF, but like as a fully endorsed, like, hey, this is awesome. So this is the endless mode for these factions.
Post it in the Discord.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to ask, if I purchase Betrayal of the Second Era now from your online store, do we get the old version or do you do a new printing that won't require errata stickers? Everything that we have right now is still the original printing and would require the errata pack. That said, you can purchase it now to play it now and still grab the errata pack for free on the Heroes of Tamriel campaign. You will have to pay shipping on it, but
Also, the errata is incredibly minimal.
yeah, the errata is very, truly very, very, very minimal, as Andrew just said behind the camera if you couldn't hear him. I would actually say for any of our big box behemoths that have, 6,000 million billion edge cases and like rules clarifications, like Elder Scrolls is honestly like the least of the errata we've ever done, I think, on any huge box game. Errata is the nature of the beast with giant games like this because we can only do so much playtesting ourselves internally to find everything, but this is really, really minor stuff, and most of it amounts to like minor clarifications on things rather than like outright things that needed to be fixed. There's only one or two, I think, balance changes that were made. Most of it is really, truly clarifications. So what plans, if any, do you have for digital adaptations of your games? I feel like I answer this question almost every stream, but it's a good question. So we continue to say like we're very open to digital adaptations of our games. We have several things on the smaller side coming to Board Game Arena here in the next few months. 20 Strong Tanglewood's Red and 20 Strong Solar Sentinels are both going to be coming to BGA in the very near future. They're in closed beta right now. But we want to have those available for the 20 Strong Awakened Realms campaign for sure so that people can test the system and see if they're into it before they go and pledge. We also have Fight 5 in closed beta right now for BGA, or that might be open. That might be open beta right now. I'm not sure. We're very open to all of that. We're looking at anything that is on the smaller side. We're very anxious to get that potentially onto Board Game Arena for sure. As it relates to like a broader digital release of any of our games, again, we're a little bit between a rock and a hard place on that. We would love for a super reputable company like a Direwolf Digital, for example, to come along and do that. They've talked to us extensively actually about doing Too Many Bones. As I've said before, we sent them everything for Too Many Bones for them to look at it, and I think they got it and they were like, oh, wow, there's a lot going on here. And, they instead have the option to do games like this is not a shot at this game because I love this game and I have the complete box for it, but, when presented with the option to do like Everdell or everything for Too Many Bones, they have to make a business decision as well to say like, well, what's the thing that's going to sell the best and take the least amount of time to develop in the process. And developing Everdell, which is a bona fide mainstream smash hit or doing Too Many Bones, which is like going to take them 3 times as long due to complexity, and is like much more of a niche title for very, very heavy preferring gamers. You know, these digital companies are making the decision, you know, for their business as well. So it takes 2 to tango. We have to be excited about the opportunity, and a digital development company has to be excited about the opportunity. And we don't want to release something that sucks. That's obvious, but like it just needs to be said. So we're only looking to work with like companies that are like pretty reputable and we trust implicitly and have a track record of success. So so far we haven't found that like perfect harmony and marriage of those 2 things existing. If we ever find it, we are very open to the idea of doing a digital adaptation of either Too Many Bones or Cloudspire or Betrayal of the Second Era. And in the meantime, with our like slightly lighter stuff and our smaller stuff, we will continue to work with Board Game Arena for those types of things because that's obviously a super successful and well-established platform. And the other cool thing about BGA is that we can make our stuff free to play on there. We can make it available to you without needing to purchase a subscription, and that's our preference, to be honest. If we did a full-on adaptation of Too Many Bones, we would have to sell it economically to make that make sense, to make our money back on it. But for smaller things like 20 Strong, we're excited to let that serve as like a marketing opportunity for us so that fans can test out those games and hopefully come and purchase physical versions of them in the future. So we are also talking with them about doing one of the Awaken Realms decks on Board Game Arena that probably won't be ready for the campaign, which, you know, whatever. But we're looking at doing either Tainted Grail or possibly, well, I don't, we haven't made a decision yet. We're looking at any of the 3. I was like, going to be like, yeah, we're looking at maybe Tainted Grail. We're looking at maybe any of the 3. We haven't decided yet, but we're talking with them about that right now. So, can we get an all metal? Did you get one of the metal cards? I'm assuming the person who's asking this question got one of the metal cards, which are very rare, by the way, and very limited. Can we get an all metal cards option for Jump Masters? They look amazing. No, you cannot, because that would cost a small fortune. And we all love collectible games here at Chip Theory. I don't actually play any of them right now, but I'm addicted to cracking Pokemon packs with my kids, even though I don't play the game or collect them myself. We all love that, but we were trying to figure out a way to do like a collectible angle on anything without it feeling really scummy. And without it feeling like we're like trying to trick you into gambling. And so the collectible like variant cards that we've been doing for Jump Masters serves as a pre-promotion, you know, marketing initiative, but also just as like a fun thing that we would like to, if the game is successful, continue to do like ad nauseum. So like we'd love to do a wave 2 of these collectible like booster packs that include a collectible card for Jump Masters moving forward. As long as we're printing Jump Masters, we just think it's kind of like a fun angle, but we are not going to be offering them as like a collect them all, buy them all thing. Read the disclaimer at the bottom of the Jump Masters preview page. And if you're sitting here wondering what the heck is that, go to chiptheorygames.com/jump and you can see the little teaser page that we put together for Jump Masters that has the collector packs that are going out with orders, has a QR code that leads to that page. Go check it out if you haven't, and read the disclaimer. I worked really hard on that, and Andrew Santoro worked really hard on that, and my brother, who works on our website, also worked very hard on that disclaimer. It's quality stuff. It's one of the best things we've put out in the last several years, I would say, the disclaimer specifically. But yeah, no, there will not be an all-metal card version. They are really cool, though. When Manny came in and saw them, he was just like, I need all of these. Can you get me all of these? We can't. They're limited. Any sales coming on the games anytime soon? I guess that depends on what you mean by the games. But as mentioned during CTG Week, which is the 26th through the 30th, end of this month, there will be some very, very lovely and aggressive sales on lots of Chip Theory stuff that you can look forward to. And Riffle will be available again. We're kind of like slowly making Riffle a little bit less exclusive each time we put Riffle out. So Riffle will be available during CTG Week at the end of this month if you still have not grabbed the elusive, enigmatic Gearlock Riffle. I have a note from Andrew on this next one. No blank spoilers.
Treated in concert with the other thing that's right below it.
Too Many Bones question.
Oh.
Any plans for Rage of Tyranny 2 for Splice and Dice and Automaton of Shale and Unbreakable Tyrants? No plans at this time, simply because, so if you're not familiar with Rage of Tyranny is like alternate versions of the Undertow and base game Too Many Bones Tyrants that make them more involved in your adventure, switch up the challenge a little bit, change up the end game scenario, et cetera, et cetera. And no plans to do a Rage 2 right now, simply because Rage itself being kind of like end game, I hesitate to call it expert mode, but like it's kind of end game content for Too Many Bones. It's like it's really to challenge people who have kind of mastered a lot of what Too Many Bones has to offer. And end game expansions, Splice and Dice is similar, aren't as popular. They don't tend to sell as well. And so no plans right now. No plans right now. The other thing is that the Splice and Dice Tyrants, at least specifically, and a little bit Automaton of Shale, and I feel like I can say this because I primarily developed them. Rage of Tyranny was really trying to do for the base game and Undertow Tyrants what we felt like we were already doing with the Splice and Dice, Automaton, and Unbreakable Tyrants, if that makes sense. With the benefit of hindsight, after working on Undertow, we were like, how do we make the Tyrants feel like a more like looming, ominous, important presence in any particular adventure? And that's what we tried to do with Splice and Dice and Unbreakable and Automaton of Shale. So in that way also, like, we don't necessarily feel like those Tyrants would benefit as much from a Rage of Tyranny expansion. We'd never say never. And again, the one thing I will continue to say about Too Many Bones 2 is that it is in no way, shape, or form intended to replace Too Many Bones. This is not going to be a check out the evolution of the Too Many Bones system and how we've improved it and made the old game obsolete. No, not that at all. This is meant to be a sort of like secondary pillar in the Too Many Bones universe. And, where was I going with that? I just wanted to state that. But yeah, for the same reason, like we just felt like, hey, we designed the Tyrants better for Splice and Dice and for Automaton of Shale and for Unbreakable. I know, opinions on the final Cinder battle aside, right? But generally speaking, we felt like we had already like kind of course corrected and made the Tyrants a more important part of the game. And so I just don't know that a Rage of Tyranny 2 necessarily fixes much. It would just be different, but it doesn't improve anything or like really wouldn't offer more challenge, because all of those Tyrants are already really challenging and they're already kind of like more baked into the adventure, if that makes sense. So 2 or 3 campaigns for Chip Theory games this year. 4, not 2, not 3, 4. If you count Neon Knight, if you count Jump Masters. So there will be Jump Masters. There shall be Jump Masters. There shall be Awaken Realms 20 Strong coming in April. Jump Masters February. Awaken Realms 20 Strong April. Then July-ish, as I sort of teased at the beginning of the stream, if you missed it, a Roth expansion of some kind. Again, whether that's standalone, whether that's just full-on expansion, new factions will be involved, and a retail version of Roth will be involved. That is coming this summer, likely in July. And then there will be a large campaign in the fall that will be large. And one of the main things about it is that it will be large. So you should just know that. You should just know that ahead of time. Fall campaign, big game, and it will be large. Not a big need at this point, but how will Roth moving to Neon Knight work with strategists? So I will not pretend to have all of the I's dotted and T's crossed on that whole thing. The idea is not necessarily to move Roth in its entirety under Neon Knight, though that may happen. The intent is for the retail edition to be Neon Knight, and probably keeping the deluxe version, the CTG edition. I don't know. We acknowledge the confusion. We acknowledge the sort of goofiness around it. But TBD, we always want to try and be as generous to strategists as we can, though, is the general, just MO of what we're trying to do. So I would expect that at least the new factions and new expansion, the deluxe CTG version, will be given to strategists. I think the other thing is just that we're probably going to run that campaign under the Chip Theory Games banner, no matter what, even if when Roth Retail comes out, it has Neon Knight Games on it as in terms of the logo. There's a lot to figure out, and we've got roughly 6 months to figure all that stuff out. But we will try to communicate clearly on all of that stuff, and we're not. It's not like some secret underhanded move to stiff strategists on their content. We fully intend to get you guys whatever we can. So, and then related question: do strategists get copies of Neon Knight campaigns? I think the intent on that is no, but I am not certain. I also don't know that we've had a policy conversation on that exactly. So, a republish of Triplock. Any return of Triplock? No. And no. Though I do think we still have plenty of copies just sitting around. It's just not worth it. It doesn't sell, frankly. And so we haven't had it available on our website. Same with Game to Pick a Game. I think we still have a few copies of that floating around, but we're just not interested in promoting it or having it clog up space in our web store anymore. So if you really want a copy of Triplock and you're having trouble finding one, submit a ticket. We can absolutely help you out. I can promise you that. Will there be a new core box with the Awakened Realms 20 Strong campaign? Yes, there will. We even have some of the sample dice from it already, though they are not out here on the table right now. But yes, there will be a new core box, which will contain 20 Strong Nemesis. And that said, you will also be able to purchase the Nemesis deck separately if you already... it'll be a lot like the Tanglewoods campaign if you backed that. Yes. The question here is just, will other 20 Strong products be available as a part of the Awakened Realms campaign? Yes, absolutely. Yes, including Cloudspire. Will there be another print of Dragons of Etchenstone? So as I sort of alluded to before, we are not sold out of Dragons right now. What we are doing is we have pre-orders paused while we get our arms around some of the quality control issues we've seen on it. So there are still plenty of copies of Dragons available. It's just we have put a pause on it because we just want to have our ducks in a row in terms of how we are handling that and making sure that we have awareness around how widespread the print issues on that were. Yes, it's absolutely been a successful product for us. If we sell out of it, we will absolutely reprint it. It's a banger, man. It's a great game. It's an absolutely great game. And so, don't take the pause on our website right now in terms of taking pre-orders as a indication that it's sold out and we're never releasing it again. We just need to figure out what the heck's going on with these ink rubbing off issues that we've been seeing on it. So, 20 Strong Burn Cycle or Triplock. Maybe to Burn Cycle, definitely not on Triplock. Do you plan to stop at 20 decks for 20 Strong? No. No, we do not. That doesn't mean we plan to not stop either. We're just taking it as it comes. If there's cool ideas and there's success and there's enough enthusiasm and sales to back future 20 Strong decks, we will make them forever if you keep buying them, frankly. We think it's such a great little system, and there's so much we can do with it, and I think there's just a ton of untapped potential in terms of where that could go. Again, the biggest lift, not again because I haven't said this yet, the biggest lift for 20 Strong decks is art. We've kind of set this precedent of like having unique art on almost every card. And so it serves as a great way to re-implement art from our existing lines. And it also makes it a series that is ripe for awesome licensing opportunities, because then we can have the art provided to us. That's why this Awaken Realms initiative is so great, because we get to use a whole bunch of their art, and we don't have to develop it ourselves. From a developing mechanically standpoint, these decks are really, really fun to make. The heaviest lift is just like, it's a lot of art to do unique art on, 50 to 82 cards. And so, yeah, anyway, but yeah, you'll continue to see decks well into the future, and some of them original, some of them our own IPs, some new IP potentially, and there will likely be more licensed stuff in the future. But again, beyond the Awaken Realms trilogy right now, we have nothing else firmly decided in that world, and we have nothing else signed in terms of like licenses or anything along those lines. Is Tanglewood's Rose going to be exclusive to the CTG store, or will it come to retail? I don't know the answer to that question, actually. Genuinely, I don't know the answer to that question. Right now, it's a CTG store exclusive, just because we had to kind of pivot after the tariff stuff and the change up to the like Barnes & Noble deal that we were doing. But I don't know that we completely know the answer to that. Golden Chip Deslandra promos when? Still don't know on that. Still don't know. Sorry. Did the felines of Fetch and Bone quality see any issues? I think the answer to that is yes, but I'm not even certain. I'd have to talk to our support team around what they're seeing on that. Are we going to get TMB brass mags for the 3 pets and the 3 bots? No, you are not. Almost definitively, I would say no to that. I'm going to take a drink here so that my voice hopefully recovers. Oh, man. Okay, question about enamel pins for Too Many Bones. They'd like to see all of the new characters. I might ask about that. No plans right now, but I might ask about that. That would be a fun thing to kind of have at Gen Con or a convention. And I think Carcass needs a pin. Gilly's my handle or whatever, but Carcass is the Gearlock I actually developed, and I would like a Carcass pin to commemorate his weird pseudo cannibalism. It'd be fun. And then yes, the other sub question here is: are trope chests still on track for this year, quarter 2? Yes, they are. Will there be a stock up soon for Hoplo Pandora's Ruin for the Europe store? I did not know that we did not have Pandora's Ruin in the Europe store, so I will have to check on that. I do not know the answer to that question because I did not know that we were out of stock on it. Will we be getting any more sci-fi intellectual property? Potentially. We're not opposed to that. I wouldn't. There's not necessarily anything like in development right now that like is strictly speaking firmly in the sci-fi sphere, but we're open to that. We're open to that. If you did not receive Dragons of Etchenstone in Europe yet, that is a problem. There shouldn't be any news on that because Europe fulfillment for Dragons of Etchenstone should be finished. If you have not received your copy, now would be the time to submit a ticket because you should have your copy by now, and we will make sure you get taken care of. Will you guys still be producing trove chests every winter for Too Many Bones? I missed out. I know Cloudspire is the main focal point of the stream. It's not, though, actually. Like I said, all questions are on the table. Right now, yes, the plan is still to offer trove chests as long as they continue to sell. They are tailing off in sales a little bit. So I don't know, like I would grab one next year if you really want one and you haven't bought one yet, but I would anticipate we'll offer them at least one more year.
This year.
Yes, this year. The holiday season of 2026, you should pre-order one for sure. Because I don't know how much further beyond that they will be viable from a manufacturing standpoint. Again, we don't have any problem continuing to make them forever. as long as they keep selling. It is purely a like financial decision for us on whether or not they are viable financially for us. So as long as they keep selling, we will keep making them. We have no intent to make them a limited time thing. But if they stop selling, we need to stop making them because they're very expensive to both make and ship. So, yeah, I don't know what that question means either, Andrew, so I'm just going to skip past it. Yeah, question about will we be offering the metal tracker for 20 Strong as a standalone? Yes, we will be offering that. I actually thought we were already offering that, so I'll need to do some digging on why that's not the case. But yes, we will be for sure selling that in the future. I am not sure. Question here on Spiral Galaxy 20 Strong metal dice. I don't know the answer to that question. Again, I know there were a bunch of we have a bunch of stuff on its way to Spiral Galaxy that they basically were like, we're not going to take it during the holiday season. So that's why even like Cloudspire fulfillment got pushed to, originally it was supposed to be the first week of this month. We pushed everything into 2026 for Spiral Galaxy simply because during the holidays they're so busy with holiday fulfillment that they just basically don't do campaign fulfillment of any kind. So there's a bunch of stuff bound for Spiral Galaxy right now. And we will again, like anything that's out of stock there right now, if it's going to be restocked, it's all coming on containers that are coming in the next like week or two. There are at least 2 containers coming, I know of, to Spiral Galaxy just for like Cloudspire stuff alone, and there's more stuff coming too. So we haven't redesigned the 20 Strong dice in terms of like colors and that kind of thing in a major way. Again, it's more like iconography. Just question about like they'd like the stat dice to be a little bit more readable. Heard. I will run that up the food chain to the extent that I can. What happens to the Cloudspire minis? Again, we are still fulfilling Cloudspire, so including the new sets of minis, we need to see what we have in each region after fulfillment is done. Again, it's this sounds stupid because you'd be like, well, Gilly, take the amount you ordered and subtract the amount that you're fulfilling for the campaign. That's what you have left, buddy. One of the fun things about global logistics is that a lot of times you might say, hey, I would like 600 sets of X in region A. And what happens is you end up with 100 sets of X in region A because the container got loaded wrong, or you had a pallet that got damaged, or just like any number of strange things. So while it seems like it should be basic math to figure out what we have in each region, until we are actually done fulfilling and can kind of take an inventory, we don't always know. Sometimes the wrong amount of things get sent to a specific region. I'm trying to think of a recent example. But there have been examples where like we've meant to have 1,000 dice trays in the United States and they all get sent to Europe and we end up with 0 of them. And then we need to get them airshipped from Europe, that kind of thing. So, while it seems elementary, it's actually way more complicated than you would ever think possible. Global logistics is an actual nightmare. I just want you all to know that. And our logistics team does incredible work simply making all of this stuff happen around the world. It is a massive, massive amount of work and a huge headache to get it right. And even when we do everything right, sometimes stuff just happens, just is what it is. So again, yes, update on European fulfillment for Cloudspire. Update going out either today or tomorrow, and they will have their container next week, the first container to start fulfillment. I don't know how fast they will turn that around, but they will be receiving the first container that they need next week for Cloudspire in Europe. And again, apologies, it kept getting like pushed back just a little bit over the holidays. And I need to get communication out about that so that y'all are aware of what's going on. Can you do a 20 Strong Fallout? That would be sweet. I think it could be great. Yeah. yeah, I think it could be great as well. We've talked about that, again, and I want to be just like unequivocal. We have signed nothing. We have like nothing is like firmly in development or anything along those lines. But we do love the idea of doing like trilogies of 20 strong decks for campaigns. That format has seemed to work really, really well for us. And so we have definitely talked about the idea of like, would there be a Bethesda trilogy of decks that we could do with like Elder Scrolls Fallout and I don't know, Doom or something. We have had zero conversations with Bethesda about that prospect, and I am not committing to that, but absolutely, like those types of ideas have gone through our heads, and we continue to field questions constantly about like, are you going to do a big Fallout game as well, not just through 20 strong? So obviously, we've got a great working relationship with Bethesda. We are like fully focused on the Elder Scrolls right now. I think a lot of those questions will be asked more earnestly and with more seriousness as we kind of finish up our work on the Betrayal of the Second Era line of games. We are already, I was in a meeting yesterday about what the third wave of content could look like to get that rolling, because our dev team, again, is already finished with Heroes of Tamriel. Now it's on to the graphics side of things to get everything buttoned up and polished, and waiting for art to be finished and that kind of thing. So, yeah, anyway, a chip theory implementation of Diablo. I would drool for that. Yeah. I mean, Diablo is awesome. So maybe, I don't know. We're not talking with any other companies right now. We are planning maybe to attend there's a big like licensing fair that happens, I think, out in Las Vegas in the spring or early summer. We're talking about possibly going to that and just like kind of walking around and seeing like what's even possible. It's still not a world we're like hyper familiar with. Even after working with the Elder Scrolls license, you'd be like, well, that's a huge license. You guys know what you're doing. It's the only license we've really worked with so far, aside from now Awakened Realms. And so we're still kind of just getting our feet wet in this universe, the universe of licensing, not any specific licensed universe. And then there's also just like the push and pull of, generally speaking, it's more fun to make our own thing, like without any limitations on what we can do, without any limitations on like associated with royalties. It's just generally more fun to work on your own thing that you're really, really excited about. That feeds our creative juices a little bit more. On the other hand, licensed stuff like has a built-in audience and sells really well. So as we've kind of talked about, with how long it took us to do Cloudspire and stuff, we always are trying to balance that like passion project versus feed the beast with revenue side of things as it relates to anything that we put out and release. So it's all like very carefully calculated. And while it's very easy to look at any license and be like, let's just jump into the deep end and just make tons of money off of these built-in audiences, a big part of the reason that chip theory exists in its past, present, and hopefully future state is that we get a tremendous amount of joy and inspiration from working on goofball stuff that is just really weird and interesting, and so on and so forth. And we said from the jump when we took on the Elder Scrolls license, we didn't want that to sort of sabotage our creative spirit in terms of what we do with our internal IP and that kind of thing. So, anyway, like lots of licenses would be cool to work on. And there's lots of opinions around the office on what the next license that we should pursue could, should, or would be. But at the end of the day, we are always more excited about our own IP than we are about any license, as fun as it is to work on licenses as well. So, any suggestions for a Cloudspire buy order? I'm a huge fan of CTG, and I have pretty much everything for TMB. Start with the base game. And if you want to get a little bit more, get the Grige expansion is what I would say. Start there. If you like that, there's plenty more to explore. I would just start with the base game, honestly. Cloudspire, the people who love Cloudspire tend to like obsess over it. It becomes one of their favorite board game experiences ever. And that might be you, and you might absolutely adore it, and that would be awesome. There is also a number of folks who just find it a little bit too keyword centric, a little bit too heavy, a little bit too many edge cases, that kind of thing. And that may also be you. You never know. So I would start with the base game. There's a ton of content in that base game. And if you enjoy it, yeah, I mean, I would branch out from there. And I would probably always start with faction expansions. And then if you enjoy the other factions from there, I would also then go to the Harbinger expansion, which has a whole bunch of cool new stuff in it. I would probably end with Portal Seekers if you really, really, really love Cloudspire and want just that much more. This looks like the last question. This is your final chance to ask any questions, because as of right now, I believe these are the last 2 questions that I have in front of me. Can I order from your website to ship to Poland? Yes, you can. And then the last question that I have, unless there's more, is what is up with this blue tracker dial? And I'm just going to be really brutally honest with you right now. Like this, bring it in. We're going to have a heart-to-heart here. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know where this came from. I don't know if this was a leftover from a prototype we did when we were looking at something. This might be the tracker for the Nemesis box. Maybe. Genuinely, it might be. I don't know. I genuinely don't know where this came from. It is cool though. It kind of looks like a cloud. It's perfect for Cloudspire. But it also kind of has that bluish, like alien-ish vibe to it also, so it might be for 20 Strong Nemesis. I genuinely have no idea. This is not me pretending. I don't know. If you like it, tell us that we should do it for Nemesis, and then maybe in a month I'll be like, well, yeah, we already are doing it for Nemesis. But I don't know where this came from. One thing we did a couple years ago during COVID Gen Con was a big auction stream where we auctioned off a bunch of weird stuff that we just had around the office. And this strikes me as the type of thing that would have gone up for auction during that. Of yeah, this is a prototype we got at some point. Nobody remembers why or where or what. But you can now buy it. I don't know. That's the answer to that question. But it looks cool. It's very nice. And it's got the same sort of swirl effect that the red one from Tanglewood's Red has. It was clearly made by Gameland. So this is post original campaign. I don't know. Last question here. Soda or pop? Absolutely, definitively soda. Absolutely. Pop. People who use pop instead of soda, it is my personal belief that it is because they only know 2 letters of the alphabet and also need palindromes in order to be able to spell things properly. So if you're a pop person out there, just know that I think a lot less of you than if you say soda.
What about cola?
Cola, what? No, nobody says cola.
Texas.
Nobody says, no.
They say Coke.
No, it's Coke in the South.
It's Coke.
And that's just, that's weird. I don't know, that's just kind of weird.
Can I have orange Coke?
And people who say soda pop, with a shout out to K-pop Demon Hunters, but people who say soda pop are likely sociopaths.
Or above the age of 80.
So that's my thoughts on soda or pop. It is soda. It's not pop. Get with it.
Here's a follow-up to this one.
Follow-up question, yes?
Yeah. So, here you go.
Okay, here it comes. Canadian here, so I say pop. I'm sorry. How do I cancel my Cloudspire order? Submit a ticket. And when that pops into our inbox, we will gladly refund you because, frankly, we're happy to lose you as a customer.
Tell support Gilly sent you.
No, none of you know this, and none of you could ever know this. But for whatever reason, soda versus pop became a very important part of the inside jokes amongst my friend group in college. And we decided stupidly and I don't know, not stupidly, but irrationally, we decided that we were like going to make this a like, we're going to be like single issue voters on this topic in terms of like we will double down always on it's soda, not pop. And I don't even know why that's the case. I'm from Wisconsin, and apparently like the southern half of Wisconsin tends to say soda, and the northern half of Wisconsin says pop. Growing up in more southern Wisconsin, where soda was the word, I went to school in Minnesota, and I still have this like faux Minnesota versus Wisconsin complex. Whatever. This is all information you didn't need to know, and everybody's probably like tuning out right now. Our viewer numbers are probably dropping through the floor. But asking this question like weirdly brought back like all of that. Like I suddenly felt like I needed to play that character of like the guy who really cares a lot about soda or pop. Say whatever you want. I don't care. I say soda. I think soda is better. But the palindrome 2-letter unintelligent argument, that was like the type of thing that we would go with in college, which I don't know. Now you know how, I didn't drink and party in college. I went around having arguments about soda versus pop. So tells you a little bit about my crazy and wild lifestyle right there. Anyway, there you go. All right, that is the end of the Q&A for today. There are updates coming this week and early next week. Chip Theory Games Week, CTG Week, big sales, lots of news, lots of exciting stream stuff, and I'm sure when Andrew gets done playing 20 Strong Cloudspire here in a little bit, he will also be reiterating that. But just one last time, the 26th through the 30th, we will be streaming every single day. I will be telling you about why it's soda, not pop, every single day for an entire week. Can you imagine? The 26th, launching Q&A of CTG Week, talking about the sales, talking about what's coming. 27th, your first look at Jump Masters gameplay. 28th, your first look at 20 Strong Awaken Realms trilogy of decks. 29th, fresh new Heroes of Tamriel content, and then we're going to close out the week with some new Cloudspire faction gameplay, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to be a great week. It's going to be a great week. We're really excited about it, and we intend to make this an annual event, again, to kind of help us out of the winter doldrums of January in this frozen hellscape of a state we call Minnesota. We also call it home. It's home for us. In just a couple minutes, Mr. Andrew Santoro will be here in front of the camera with your first playthrough, first on-camera playthrough of 20 Strong Cloudspire in its final version. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your questions. Like and subscribe if you like this content, and please rejoin us in just a few minutes for some 20 Strong Cloudspire. Thanks for watching.
I'm back. I might have audio, I might not. Probably do at this point. Hello, welcome back. I just wanted to. We live in very divisive times. Things are bad. You can say soda. You can say pop. You can say whatever you want. I'd call it the thing that you call it. I don't care. But I wanted to start off by saying CTG Week is at the end of this month, 2 weeks from Monday of this week, so a little less than 2 weeks away. We will be launching it on that Monday. We'll also be launching a bunch of sales, so check those out. We'll be doing a Q&A. Both of the old Joshes will be on the stream here. It'll be very exciting. Next day, we will be doing Jump Masters. We'll have an AMA, an Ask Me Anything with the man himself, the Manny himself, that is. Manny Tremblay will be in studio. Unless he's not, I believe he will be. So look forward to that. We'll also play some Jump Masters with all metal cards, of course, the only way it can be played, in my opinion. Once Wednesday is completed, we will be on to Awaken Realms Day. On Awaken Realms Day, we'll be showing off how to play Nemesis, Ether Fields, and Tainted Grail. And we'll also be showing some gameplay. Doing some gameplay. How far have you ever grown out my afro? Far. At some point, it just starts to mushroom is the problem. It stops being a circle and starts being a flat thing, and then we have to cut it. After Awaken Realm Day, there is some Elder Scrolls Day in which we will be tackling some of the new stuff. Some of the stuff I've designed. It's very exciting. So that'll be Heroes of Tamriel stuff. And then finally, we're closing that out with a big old PvP game of Cloudspire using some new factions. I'm very excited about that. No confirmation on who or what will be on any of those streams, but we will have special guest Devin in the house. So we are going to be playing Cloudspire 20 strong today. That's true. I am just like Tommy in that way. Don't look up Tommy. Very.
It's a good joke.
Yeah. For those who know, that was good. For those who don't, I don't know. You probably don't need to know. We're going to be playing 20 strong Cloudspire today. I'll do a brief overview, and then we're going to be like playing it probably, So I've set it up here because, the setup is one of the longer parts of this game. I have put us against the Birds, the most hated of the guys, so I thought that would be good. We're going to be fighting old Jelena Nestor over here. And I've also selected General Echo as our guy. This is Mr. Bad over here. General Echo, starting stats of 222. He is a Keel. Obviously, he is a Batman. He starts with both Source Grinders. So I grabbed both Source Grinders. He has the ability Void Soul. The hero position may also be used as a Spire position, with General Echo and the Spire co-occupying the position. Now that will make no sense to you off the bat here, but that's because this one plays, much like every 20 strong deck, very differently than the other ones. Let me see. Where can I find that game? This game? On our website. It's for pre-order, but new info about the expansions just crowdfunded or new things. We'll be playing with some of the new things. It will be prototype stuff. Both versions of the listed Spire are just one. I think you get both versions. Salem, don't make me second guess stuff when I'm teaching people a game. Let me see. Let me make sure. Place the market stack. I have selected my hero. Represent me. Place them next to your hero. Find the mini hero. Find the 2 cards among those conflict cards that match the Spire name. That's right. It's kind of similar to Rose, but it is also very different because there is just one lane. So in this game, unlike other 20 strong games, you can't just huck dice at enemies. You just can't. It's unfortunate, but you can't do it. And I've chosen a very bad example as a hero for this, but I thought the Bats versus Birds would be thematically fun. So
Why'd you do?
that's the problem. But how this one works is there will be towers, much like this. I'm spoiling the next card for myself. For instance, this water tower is a spire. This has blueprints on it. So during my engagements, I can choose some dice and I can roll them, and if they roll hits, I can place them onto any open blueprints on a spire. When an enemy passes by that spire, I can move that dice onto that enemy. Now I can place more hits onto that spire. So it's like Rose in that enemies are coming down a lane at you. It is unlike Rose. Get out of here with your yellow prints. Yes, a blue and a yellow print. Enemies will be coming towards you on this grid here. There are 3 spots between you and the enemy. If the enemy needs to move on to you, it will hurt you. That is the same thing. There are activation abilities. I believe this is the only deck that uses them so far, which are represented by this little triangle icon. That is when the enemy is activated. It does a thing. My goodness, this guy absolutely stinks. Just the worst of all of the guys that I've ever seen. So what I have done that is bad is I've chosen a hero that doesn't have a blueprint, so my hero cannot attack. Also, my hero comes with 2 spires that don't have blueprints, so those also cannot attack. The spires do have a thing where they will be drawing me a card from the market stack whenever an enemy activates, so that's going to be something. That will be something. So let me see. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so that is the basics. So I've chosen the bat guys as my main guys. So what I do there is I take all of the Keel cards and I shuffle them into a deck along with 2 allied factions. So each of us has a mini hero for each faction as well as 5 other cards. So those cards are double-sided. So this is a water tower on this side, for instance, and then that is if I am allied with the Shada. And then on the reverse side is if I was against the Shada, this would be in the bag eye pile as a grafted water. I have chosen all of the new factions that I can. The Graft are the main enemy in Cloudspire 20 Strong. So I will be playing as the Bats, allied with the Shada. And then, of course, the first expansion, I am allied with Greg as well, I believe is the old Greg. For my enemies, you do basically the same thing. Just take your enemies, you shuffle all their piles together. We've got bird enemies and 2 other ones that I don't remember which I choose. Surprise to me, surprise to you as well. We have a turn 1 Royal Talon that I'm looking at, which is no good at all. So essentially on our turn, what we'll be doing, first off is activation. So we can cycle enemies. This is optional. We can exhaust a die to bottom the top enemy card. We are going to be working through this entire deck. So bottoming them is only dealing with them in the moment. I think I might do that though, because this guy's 6 health, hits for 2, and when he comes out he hits me for 1. And after I defeat him, I have to banish a die with a crit. He does give me a bunch of... No, he doesn't give me a bunch of stats. He gives me 1 of those. Then draw 2 cards from the market stack, keeping 1. Gives me lots of stuff, but he will hit me in 3 turns if I don't bottom him right now. So I think I will be bottoming him right now. I'll just exhaust a... So you can see that blues and yellows are going to be important to me at the moment, so I'll just exhaust a green. Why not? So I'm going to bottom the Royal Town. I think I can only take that action once, but let me double check. Alright, so cycle enemies. In this phase, you may exhaust a die from your die pool to move the top card of the stack to the bottom. You may do this as many times as the number of dice in your dice pool. So I could do this 16 more times. I might do it again, because this guy has plus enemy, and only crits can be applied to this enemy. That's so annoying. But I do want plus 2 health. Plus 2 health is good, because I only have 2 health. Well... Sure. Why? Nah, no. 2 enemies. Oh. I'll exhaust another green. 2 enemies is scary. I'm going to hit a mini boss and it's going to be the worst. Joust. This enemy deals its damage before the Spire's fire phase instead of in the suffer damage step. Interesting. Let me just double check and make sure they're only... Every enemy that has an eligible target attacks. You may choose freely the order of these attacks. However, once a particular enemy begins attacking, it must apply all damage, whether it reaches the maximum defined by its damage. Orthogonally adjacent. Okay. Neat. Oh, that's right. I can load misses onto blueprints as well, and those will be basically the buff, the one that you can't, the orange chip. Why can I not remember this? At least you have a buffer on before it can hit something, right? Yes, I placed my 2 things in the middle here because I figured I would. You get to place your spires right off the bat. I placed them in the middle because they can't do damage. I want to be able to do damage right when the enemies come out and right before the enemies hit me. So that's my thinking on these guys. Man, oh man, that's no good. If a... Oh no. Yeah, so if this guy ends next to a spire, he will kill it, which is unfortunate. But I think I can activate this guy. That's fine. So the Joust will activate. I'm not cycling him to the bottom. I hate what is next. That's no good. That's a mini boss. So that was Advanced Enemies phase. So now we're on to the strategy phase, in which I can place spires. I don't have any in my inventory. I can commit dice, and I can roll dice and apply them. I don't have anywhere to put any dice if I roll them, so I will just skip it. Then we have the Spire's Fire phase. So I don't have anything there either, but both of my Source Grinders say at the start of each Spire Fire phase, draw 1 card from the market stack. You may choose to gain it or place it on the bottom. So I'll draw the Water Tower, which is pretty good. And then I'm drawing the Okjob as well, who is my little helper man from the Greech. Skip the suffer damage step of a round. Then place Okjob on the deployment stack. The next time an enemy would activate from the deployment stack, instead banish Okjob. That is pretty cool. I don't see really a reason why I would not do both of them. So that's Okjob. He's a grosso. And all the mini bosses on their reverse side have a friendly mini boss, and that is basically what that guy is. Water Tower is quite good. Enemies adjacent to this spire have -1 health to a minimum of 1. So that's not going to be too bad. I believe that's it here, because let me see here. Exhaust all dice applied to defeated. After effects trigger as normal. Recover dice. Cleanup step. I think I just recover these dice. Interesting. Let me know if that is wrong, Sam. I believe that's correct. There's nothing saying I skip it if there wasn't not an engagement. All right. Cleanup step. Undefeated enemies do not move to the discard, but instead remain in place for the next round. Oh, gross. So they will just sit here smacking me if I don't get them. Don't like it. All right. Oh, do I still get a recovery if I did not commit dice to roll? And there's nothing explicitly saying that is not the case, but I'll leave these here for now. So Okjob is in my inventory. So then we're on to the next round. So cycle enemies. Okay, cool. I am going to exhaust a green to bottom that grafted Darb. Oh my goodness, another mini boss. Can't be doing that. I'll bottom him as well. My goodness, they're all terrible. This enemy activates the closest available lane to your hero. Gross. And plus enemy. Well, no. No, not actually. After each activation, exhaust all dice loaded onto adjacent spires. Good lord. somehow this one seems like one of the better ones. Hey, I've got the rule book. It doesn't say it. Which is why I thought that was the case. All right, so I did all the things. I'm going to activate the enemy. This Joust is going to move up. This Corsair is going to pop in. Okay, this is looking pretty grim, honestly. I'm going to place a Spire. I'm going to place it here. Why not? And now... skip the suffer damage step. Gonna commit a blue and a yellow. 2 blue and 2 yellows. I only have 2 strategy. I actually don't even know what I want. Yeah, I do. Roll those dice. Gross. I'll just reroll them all. And I'll add in another yellow. Heck, why not a 4th yellow? Come on, something. Okay. That's a true shame. Oh, I overcommitted. I've done a terrible thing. I'm going to place this here. Oh, and then when this guy activated, I minus 1 health. Gross. Oh, okay. So I've loaded a miss onto this, which will prevent 1 hit, and I've loaded a crit onto this, which I can move onto this guy when he walks by it. I actually don't think I'm going to load that crit. Never mind, because yeah, I think that's fine. I think I've got a plan. So this enemy deals damage before the Spire's fire phase. That's obnoxious because that's going to blow up the old source grinder here into my discard pile. Why not? That's my... where can I put a discard? Let's put it over here. It's all empty. Does that Corsair have plus enemy? No, it has minus 1 health on activation, which I just did. So that guy did his damage before the Spire Fire phase. At the start of each Spire Fire phase, I draw 1 card from the market phase. I can choose to gain it or place it on the bottom. I'm going to gain it because it is a Spire and I desperately need those. And then that is it because this does not have a target. Now enemies will deal damage. Normally, this guy already did because he does it before, and then this guy will smack here or here. Again, there's nothing there, so he is all good. We're doing great. Now we're back up top. Cycle enemies. In the suffer damage step, this enemy is considered to be adjacent to your hero. When this enemy is defeated, minus 1 health. I think that guy just kills me if I can't. Oh, if I can't get him. During the Spire Fire phase, if all Spire blueprints are loaded with hits, you may change 1 loaded crit to a hit. Or hit to a crit. In the suffer damage. So I think that's fine. So I'm just going to let him activate. This guy's going to pop up. This is going to pop up. Oh no, I will have loaded this miss. That's true. I didn't do my recovery either. I'm missing stuff left and right. Get these 2. I will have left that miss because my plan is involving using this Arc Job, but this guy's doing his damage before the Spire Fire phase, so it's not going to do what I want it to do. So I will make it do what I want it to do. So what we're going to do then... Enemies have advanced. Strategy phase, we're going to place Spires. I'm going to place Artillery right here. Yeah. All of this Spires. So Artillery has yellow or any color. Any color hits can be applied there. During the Spire Fire phase, if all of these Spire's blueprints are loaded with hits, you may change 1 loaded hit to a crit before applying that hit. So we are going to be rolling our dice and putting them onto Spires, hopefully. So 2 yellows for that, and then my reds, because of Nestor, still work, but only hits work. So let's put a red in. Shouldn't need anything else then. Everything else is loaded up. Yeah, we're good. So we're rolling dice. Okay, so we actually want just a hit, and we want just a hit here. And we have a miss. I don't have anywhere to place it, so I will just exhaust it. This enemy is going to deal its damage before the Spire Fire phase. I'll have it deal 1 over here, removing this miss. Removing that upgrade. This enemy technically has 3 health because it is next to the water tower. Now we are starting the Spire Fire phase. This guy dealt his damage. Start of this phase, I draw a market card. So I'm drawing my market card. Now we're in the Spire Fire phase. I'm going to use this ability. If all hits on here are loaded, or if it's loaded with hits, I can change one loaded hit to a crit before applying that hit. Okay, yeah, I will do that. Change this to a crit, and then I will apply both of these here. That's 3 damage. I can leave this crit hanging out here for a future enemy. This man has died. And he will turn into an enemy. When do you die? Do I still get my rewards? After, if you are a Thingo. I think you die afterwards, technically. Exhaust dice step. After effects are resolved as normal. Enemies as well as dice enemies. Perfect. Suffers 1 damage. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think that's all resolved at the end. So, now I have done all of the Spire Fire phase. Now we're going to resolve suffering damage, but I'm going to place Okjob over here. So I'm skipping the suffer damage step of this round. Then he is going to skip the next deployment, and then he's going to become banished. Yeah, no, this system's really wild in terms of like how much it lets you get away with, honestly. Oh, this guy blows. He's gonna get rid of this anyways. Well, this man dies. This joust moves here. He is an item now. I will recover some dice. Let's recover 2 yellows. I need to be getting this recovery up. This is no good. Alright. I think that was all my stuff. After Effects, exhaust dice, recover dice, gain item rewards, cleanup. Then we move back to the top. So we're going to cycle enemies. I don't need to because Okjob is going to prevent the whole thing. So next time an enemy would activate from the deployment stack, instead banish Okjob. So he is banished, actually. Banished. So I believe they just hang out then. They don't just move. Right? I think they only move if they're pushed. Let me just double check. Oh yeah, and if you leave a block up here, they start hitting you as well. So yeah, if no new enemy was deployed from the deployment stack to the top lane, your hero loses 1 health. If deployment fails. Deployment has not failed, it was skipped. Yeah. Let me see here. In this new phase, you may exhaust the die from your die pool. No. Move any enemy in the middle lane to the bottom lane, any enemy in the top lane to the middle lane. Then activate the top enemy from the deployment stack. The next time an enemy would activate from... Oh, you still activate them normally. They're still advancing. Gross. Gross. I don't like it. I think I'm actually going to, because this is before the suffer damage step, I'm going to swap the positions of 2 enemies. Discard that item to use it. I'm going to swap this ranger with this corsair. That's using up my items, then the enemies advance. This guy does his thing. but there's no dice there. In the suffer damage step, this enemy is considered to be adjacent. Great, he already is. When this enemy is defeated, -1 health. No. I actually don't think I can do that. I probably should have bottomed this, man. Yeah, I can't actually do that. So I will not have used this item. Yeesh. Okay. Welp. Let's see what we can do. So after each activation, exhaust all dice loaded onto adjacent spires. Unfortunate. All right. Gross. So enemies have activated. I need to kill both enemies somehow. So placing spires, I have to place you here at the start of each round. Other spires adjacent to this spire gain a purple blueprint for the round. Interesting. Okay, so I need to make something happen here. Roll everything but my green. This is no good. Okay, sure. Sure. Okay. Crit here. Yeah. Crit there. If all our hits. Oh no, crit here. Hit here. Hit here. Because this is adding a purple blueprint to adjacent. No yellow hits. This guy can hit here, I suppose. Oh, so this is going to be 2. I need to load this with a yellow hit. Gross. Huh. Your resolve phase in which you lost health, +1 health. Oh no. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I just need a reroll on all this, and we'll see what happens. This man needs to go down. I'm not currently doing enough. Oh, that's not enough. It's not enough. Yeah, I think I've just died. Alright, let me see. Is that true? No, I guess it's not. Yeah, I can live. That's fine. Okay, blue and a yellow. And heck, I don't know. A yellow here. So when they smack spires, what do they do? Misses low. 1 point of damage removes 1 miss from a spire's blueprint. Exhaust any dice. The layout of cards restricts which cards an enemy can target. Now, let me see what I want to do before I apply these 3. Spire's fire phase, the layout of cards restricts which cards an enemy can target. An enemy's target must be orthogonally adjacent. Within this restriction, 3 possible targets, a spire. 1 point of damage removes 1 miss from a spire's blueprint. Exhaust any dice removed in this way. You may switch an enemy's target after a loaded miss is exhausted. Oh, so I can do that. Interesting. Okay, so I'll put a hit here and a miss here. Because I can then put another miss here. And then I think what we do... So we're technically now in the start of the spire fire phase. These cannot be applied. No place to put them. Start of that phase, I get to draw the top market card. Might as well keep it. Let's see here. Then we are in the spire fire phase. Unfortunately, I want to... Oh, I'm dumb. Doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I don't think. Does it? No. No, it does. It does. So I'm going to move These 3 hits onto this man. It's not enough to get him. But he is at 1 health remaining. I'm going to load this crit onto this fella. Not enough to get him. Then suffer damage. So, suffer damage, step. Let's have this guy deal his damage first. I will have him blow up this spire. He could target here, here, or here. Have him blow up the source grinder. As sad as that is. That's all my source has been ground. This guy will deal damage here, and then I can change his target and deal the other damage here. So we're just barely holding on, but we're still there. I desperately need better stuff to happen next round. So we're getting a purple and a green back. That is it. That thing, when it activates, kills me, so I cannot let it activate. So we will cycle it to the bottom. That's fine with me. All right. Powder Monkey. When this enemy is defeated, this enemy deals 1 damage to each adjacent spire and hero. Gross. She activates. No one else has anywhere to move, so they are just chilling. Then we move into placing spires. This gives her a target. I don't know if I want to give the Powder Monkey a target. I think I just want to go here. Yeah. Yeah. I need to roll everything. I need to kill the Corsair. The Corsair needs to go. Gotta roll these 2. Let's place this here, actually. So this could be good. Oh, that could be bad. She could just blow it up. What am I doing? Oh, no, this is all bad. He's gonna blow one of these up. Gross. 1's all I need. For something. Okay. And then I will roll this. Let's see. Just another hit. Okay, that's fine. All right. Perfect. We have placed our spires. We have rolled dice. We have committed dice. We have applied dice. Spire, fire phase. We're going to move a blue onto this man. He has -1 health as well from the water tower. He has died. Now I will instantly be getting +2 health because 1 health is very bad, as much as I would love the other things. Then I draw 2 cards from the market and keep 1. Oh boy. At any time, return all dice applied to enemies to your dice pool and place all active enemies on top of the deployment stack. What do I do with the other one? I assume I discard it. I'm just going to discard the one. I need more spires. Always more spires. Then this has to move on to him. He has also been defeated. So during the suffer damage step, the Powder Monkey's the only one. They have no target, so they will not be doing nothing. This is great for us. These become exhausted. This man is discarded. Where do I keep that? Separate somewhere. This is the first enemy I've defeated. Oh no, this one turned into an item. Okay. Alright. This enemy was also defeated. This has the after effect. When this enemy is defeated, -1 health. Gross. These dice become exhausted. This guy becomes an item that I think is just better than the Joust. So at the end of any resolve phase in which you lost health, +1 health. Does that offset his own life loss? That seems really strong. I guess I have to keep it as an item. This is the end of a resolve phase. I'll give myself my 1 health back at the end of the phase. Exhaust dice, recover dice, gain item, rewards. Oh no. No, that's still, yeah, I think that's still fine. I do need dice. I'm going to take these 2 perps. Oh, and if you're noticing, these are the different runs of dice. I wanted to get a nice mix of dice. Let's see. So Powder Monkey, I want dead. All right, so we're into another phase. I need to up my recovery desperately. Recovery is no good. Nestor's over here. I know that when Nestor activates, I exhaust all dice currently applied to enemies, and all active enemies have +2 health. That seems insane to me. That's crazy. What a... let me see here. Let me just make sure. It does not have a standard endgame. Instead, after the last enemy is activated from the stack, add the boss to the stack. Yep. Ugh. Okay, so enemies activate. Powder Monkey's moving. Powder Monkey on the move. This Powder Monkey activates. That's fine with me. I'm gonna roll 2 dice. And 2 lonely dice. 2 hits. I kind of want 2 crits, so we're gonna risk it. Well, that's 1 crit. That's kind of not at all what I want. I suppose I'll load a miss over here to save this from a hit in the future. Spire's Fire Phase, move that into there. Kill this enemy. I will get +2 health or recover 3 dice. I think I desperately need to recover 3 dice. I'll get 2 purples. A blue and a yellow. Or no, I only get 1 other one. A yellow. A yellow it is. No, it's a blue. It's blue. What am I doing? Alright, so I get that effect. We're cleaning up. I didn't take damage, so my item doesn't trigger. Powder Monkey has died. This Powder Monkey... Oh no. This Powder Monkey lives. This, when it dies, deals 1 damage to each adjacent spire. That removes this. That kills this. Oh, I didn't think about that part. This enemy's dead. Gross. Yeah, Cloudspire 20 strong. Alright, gross. That was rough. I'm going to recover my regular dice now. Let's get a yellow and a blue. I need more recovery so very badly. Ration backpacks coming up. Okay, enemy activation. Joust is awful, and I hate it. I don't really want it to come out, but I really don't think I can exhaust a die to make that not happen. So out it comes. Here's the heirs. Let's place this. Where do I want to place it? If I place it here, it might just get blown up by the Powder Monkey dying. If I place it here, it might just get hit before that. Ugh. Let's do that. Let's roll. Let's roll 2 perps. Let's roll everything. This is my problem. I just want to roll everything all the time. Okay, purple crit. Purple crit, good. Yellow miss here to save that from death. 2 blue hits. Put a blue hit here. Might as well just reroll. Why not? Well, maybe not. Might as well reroll. Yeah. Oh, blue crit up here. Why not? Yeah, that feels great, actually. Oh, that's going to blow that up. Do I want to have done that? It's going to die anyways. Yeah, that's fine. Purple hit down here. Blue miss over here. Maybe. Yeah. All right. Before Spire Fire Phase, the Joust attacks. For 1, it's going to poke this. Spire Fire Phase, I will move this onto the Joust. I'll move this onto the Powder Monkey. Powder Monkey defeated. I immediately will recover 3 dice once more because I'm not doing any better about the dice situation here. So yellow, yellow, blue. Joust has already dealt its damage. Powder Monkey does not deal damage because it has died. Exhaust die. Enemy discarded. Normal recovery. What do I want? Oh, and then Powder Monkey pokes this for 1 damage, which is really nasty. Really, really nasty. That glider's just gonna shoot right to the front of the line. Eesh. Normal recovery, I'll get yellow, yellow. Yellow, yellow. I don't know what the next enemy behind the glider is, but let's risk it. Activate glider. Glider activates to the closest available lane to your hero. Jumps right to the front of the line. How many plus enemies and the mini boss enters? Units that would normally activate to the top lane are instead placed underneath this enemy. Oh, no. $20, that's it. Alright, this is 20 Strong Cloudspire. Yeah, 20 Strong Cloudspire is a deck in a series. 20 Strong is a series, a IP that we can attach other IPs to. Okay, so this guy's got 2 damage on him. I don't have any ability to do anything else to that. That's fine, he can't hit anything right now. I think I roll everything again, which isn't ideal. But if I can roll a crit and a hit up there, I can just get the mini boss, which would be wonderful. Because then I'll get to. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted. Oh, crit and a hit. He's got -1 health because of the spire. So I'm gonna get him, but I'm gonna give these a reroll. Yes. Yes. Ooh, them some crits. Wowie zowie. Okay, crit here. Oh, that's unfortunate. I can't just put one on myself because I could just turn that one into a crit. Alright, so crit there. This one has nowhere to go, so I'm just gonna become exhausted. Ooh, that's some good damage. Yes, all of these play very differently. It's the same system of 20 dice, you're exhausting dice, you're getting dice back, but it's implemented in very different ways across the different decks. You can check out our other playthroughs, which we've done on live streams and stuff, so give them a watch if you'd like to check it out. So, that was that entire phase. Now we're into Spire's Fire phase. Pew. Joust does its damage before this phase. Doesn't have a target. Love it. This guy's got -1 health because adjacent to that. Let's move 3 hits onto him. Blammo. He's done. Suffer damage step. Already dead. No targets. And then dead. So, this guy gives me an item that lets me skip activation. Let me do the other guy first. I'll resolve these in order because we're going into cleanup because we're good. So we clean that up. Oh, also this has the new rule that cleanup doesn't remove dice. They hang around so your spires can fire on them. This guy instantly draw 4 cards from the market stack, keeping 2, then +2 health. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. This is going to be so unfortunate. When you would gain any amount of health instead, +5. In the suffer damage step, this spire is considered to be adjacent to all active enemies. In the exhaust dice step, all dice loaded onto this spire are exhausted. What? Oh, it can take hits. Nasty. At any time, place all unbanished dice back in your dice pool. Oh boy, recover everything. I need that one for sure. For sure. After each activation, and automatically apply a die of your choosing from the exhausted area set to a hit to an enemy adjacent to this spire. After each activation... Oh, that's cool. It lets me overroll a little bit. Set to a hit on an enemy adjacent to the spire. That's interesting. I'll be at 5 health. Yeah, let's get rid of that item for that other spire. It still vaguely resembles a MOBA. It's much more simple. It's not dumbed down. It's still very hard, but it is more streamlined, I would say. But it gives me what I want out of Cloudspire in a much shorter time frame. Much less setup as well. Okay, so... Oh, and then this man dies. And he gives me skip activation this round as a single-use item. This enemy's defeated my... Oh, I forgot to get my +2 health from that guy, right? Yeah. After I do that thing, I get +2 health because he's a mini-boss. He gives me good stuff. That's great. So yeah, I'm not going to take this item because I don't think I need to skip activation right now. So all rewards have been gained. I get to recover some dice. I desperately need to. Currently got 0. Let's get a blue. Let's get a yellow. Is that it? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I'm actually going to use this rhyme right now. Actually, no, I don't want to skip that. I'll let an enemy come out, and then I'll use rhyme. Okay, so that was my recovery. We're on to the next one. This guy's fine. I think I can get him, especially since he's going to come out, and then at any time, I'm going to place all unbanished dice back in my dice pool. Yes, please. That's a good hit. Yeah, Victorum currently exists, and it is also a very good implementation of that system. It's very unique in its own way. So giving -1 health there. Oh, this guy would have moved down here. Yeesh. Okay. Oh, that's totally fine though. Okay, so I'm gonna load up a blue and a yellow, hopefully. I just need 2 damage. He will poke my water tower to death if I don't. So I'm gonna roll an extra yellow. Make sure I get what I want. Oh, do I want to place the toxic? Yes. Toxic fumes going up here. So toxic fumes says after each activation, automatically apply a die of your choosing from the exhausted area. Set to a hit to an... Oh, I don't... Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Let's do it. Set to a hit. Okay, so... Just put one of each here. Yeah, that's fine. This becomes down here. So after each activation... Oh, no activations have happened. Because that's after that. Alright, so... We are moving into the Spire damage, but before that, the Joust hits, so he's going to poke this water tower for 1. Removing the mist that I placed on it. Could I have done that differently? No. Okay, so then we're going to move. Spires are firing. Pew, pew. Love it. Both are dead. During the actual suffer damage, nothing happens, but when this enemy is defeated, I'm going to lose a health. But I will be gaining his item, which gains me back a health at the end of this thing. So at the end of the resolve phase, if I lost health, I gain a health. That's great. I need other stats. So I recover 2 dice. Okay. Get a blue and a yellow back. Which is going to be, this is awkward now because this happens. That gets banished, but we skip activation. Move through all the steps. I can still put dice on towers, which might be something to do here because then I can recover misses if I do bad. So let's roll these 5. See if we can get prepped for the Militia Defender. Which says, after the Spire Fire phase in which you defeated this enemy, if it is not the only enemy defeated that phase, exhaust all dice applied to this enemy and undefeated. So annoying. Okay, that's a pile of misses. Ooh, that's pretty nice. I do like that. Let's put a crit here. Let's put a hit here. Purple hit down here. Why not? These 2 misses over here. I don't want to put some misses on there. Okay, so we go to recovery. Get a blue and a yellow back. Activation once more. Militia Defender comes out. Then we go to the strategy phase. Place Spire, commit. Oh, after activation, I can place a die from there set to a hit onto a fellow next to it. Then I'll do the Spire Fire phase. He's at 3 health. I'll just move a crit onto him. Love it. He's just dead. I'm gonna. Oh. I should kill him, of course. I instantly get +2 health or recover 3 dice. So I'm just gonna recover 3 dice, recover 2 for the turn. Be at full dice pool. I don't, because that health would only gain me 1 health. I don't think that's necessarily great. I don't love this bird. Yeah, this bird stinks. Box to roll my dice. It's plenty large enough. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the nice thing about 20 Strong. For anyone new to the franchise, the box, the carrying box itself, comes with a handy little dice tray. On the top lid, it's got a little treatment on the bottom so that it's not loud. It's great. You can play it right on a plane and possibly drop your dice, have to recover them after the flight. Sounds like great fun to me. I don't know what's coming after the Harrier, and I do have to get through the whole deck. I'm feeling primed to take on 2 guys, so I'll take on the Harrier, who will plus enemy and activate the Militia Defender. I don't love that. But, you know, what are you going to do at the end of any resolve phase? Yeah, so I do want a blue crit. A blue crit seems quite good. Also, yellow crit is all I can do to kill this bird. So let's roll all of the blues and yellows to see what happens. That's pretty wonderful. Blue crit. Blue crit. Lots of misses as well. So that's going to get rid of that guy. Let's just give it a reroll. I ain't got no place to put blues no more. Just hitting so hard on this. Put another crit down here. I don't think I'm going to apply any of these. The artillery wants hits on it. Alright. So, Spire fires. Pew. No spires to fire here. And that guy's got -1 health. He's the only one defeated, so his ability does not activate. He does die. This guy goes to suffer damage. He's got no targets, which is great. Militia Defender into the discard pile. Give me 3 dice as a recovery. And then I will recover 2 dice for my regular recovery. And the Royal Talon is back. The Royal Talon is back. Don't love the Royal Talon. Okay. So we are cycling enemies, advancing enemies. So do we want to cycle the Royal Talon? Banish 1 die with a crit applied to an enemy. Gross. Nope, we're doing it. Royal Talon in. Okay, then we do all our rolls. I'll roll all my yellows and all my blues once more. Oh, this guy advances as well. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, and then after the activation, I will do this ability to add a hit from the exhausted area, which means it's got -1 from that. It's at 4 health. That's 2. I'm going to put that here. Let's reroll and hope for a crit on a yellow. Come on, crit on a yellow. Crit on a yellow. Alright, these become exhausted. Spires are firing. Let's use this guy's ability to convert this into a crit before firing, and then let's place 2 crits here. That's really good. Man, I'm just critting out over here. Let's recover a health from this guy's death. And then let's... Oh, also I would have been down to 4 after the Royal Talon activation, so the +2 health is definitely the way to go. After this enemy, so this guy's been defeated and I got his effect, so let's clean you up. And then the Royal Talon is defeated, so I can get +1 recovery, +1 strategy, or +2 health, then draw 2 cards from the market set, keeping 1. I'm going to get a strategy, actually. I like holding more items, I feel like. Oh, and then after this enemy is defeated, banish a die with a crit applied to an enemy. So I have to banish a die. 1, 2, 3 yellow. I'll banish one of my blue crits, which is so sad. So sad. And then I get to draw 2 cards from the market stack and keep 1 of them. So the market stack has served me up another hive or a proximity mine. Place in an empty lane position when a non-boss enemy or a stack including a non-boss enemy occupies this position. Discard this card and defeat that enemy or the topmost non-boss enemy. I don't think I care about swapping too much right now, so I'll take the proximity mine. The hive's interesting. All the isolated onto the spire are exhausted. Oof. Let's see, Joust is gonna go away. Joust is away. Hive. Do I want Hive or do I want Proximity Mine? I think I'll take Hive instead of this item. Alright. That's all she wrote. And then I recover 2, 1 of each, blue and yellow. And we activate. Back into activation. I'm not going to cycle because we're almost to the end here. So Harrier. Oh no, I should have cycled. Harrier +1 enemy. Grafted Darb. This enemy deals this damage before Spirefire phase. Alright, am I just want to make sure I'm doing my plus enemies right in this deck. Additional enemy icons. Additional enemy icons are only result in enemy cards deployed from the deployment stack. For example, they do not resolve when enemy moves. Oh, whoops. Well, you know, I've done a boo-boo, but that's fine. To resolve a plus enemy effect, I deploy the next enemy from the deployment stack by placing the additional enemy under the card of that enemy, creating an enemy stack. Yep. Enemy stacks may contain any number of cards. Ignore all other effects on enemies added under other enemies. Enemies are not active unless they are on the top unit of the stack. Would deploy mini boss. Ignore that plus enemy effect. If a plus icon would deploy a mini boss, so this would not happen. So oh, okay. Interesting. Whoops, asterisk next to whatever I'm doing. Only top card is relevant to play at any given time. So stacks can be created just like in Cloudspire. That's fine though. It only happened like once, I think, so far. So Harrier, wood plus enemy, adding an enemy below it. Cannot add a mini boss below it, so it just activates itself, which is incidentally great. No problem. Always working on the volume. It is likely me. I'm a quiet man. I try my best. Alright. Let's give it a roll. That's nothing that we want. Giving it a roll. That's nothing that we want. Got one more. Honestly, I'm just going to place this proximity line here. Because I hate this dumb crit bird. Third roll. Okay. And a miss. Kind of perfect. So I'm not going to put that on this bird. I'm just going to let the bird hit the proximity mine. So miss. Bird's going to hit the spire. It's going to hit the miss. Exhaust the miss. I will recover 2 dice, 2 yellows. Into the next phase. Bird moves on a proximity mine. Or no, let's see. Yeah. So bird moves on a proximity mine is defeated. So I do get the effect. Which is just going to be recovering dice. I honestly don't even... Can I forgo? I mean, I'll take +2 health. I'll take +2 health. Because I don't actually want to recover those dice. So then Darb activates. Darb has plus enemy. It's another mini-boss, so he does not plus it. After the activation, I can automatically apply a die of my choosing to this enemy on a hit. And he does his damage before the Spire Fire phase, which is sucky. I don't love it. Man, I'm just really only needing yellows. This is interesting. Okay, so he has 1 and then -1, so I only need to roll a hit on a yellow. Okay, that's... no, that's not fun. I'm going to have to put a miss here because otherwise he's going to go 1, 1. So this yellow hit can go down here though, which is going to be great later. He does his damage before the Spire Fire phase. So 1 damage there, 1 damage there. Or 1 and then 1, I suppose. So he blows up my cool tower, my cool spire. And then I fire the spire on the man. And then we're into the next phase. So this guy's gonna move forward. This guy's gonna come out. He's gonna go plus enemy. He's gonna go plus enemy. So he has a stack of enemies. This pile's empty, so the boss comes out. I think the boss does not come out right away. I think the boss just is gonna come out next time. Make sure to smash the like button, not twice. Smash it once or thrice or 5. Does not have a standard end game. Instead, after the last enemy is activated, add the boss to the stack. Then continue normally. Okay, enemy has been activated. When he oh no. When he activates, exhaust all dice currently applied to enemies. Well, I could have seen that coming, I suppose. All enemies have +2 health. Gross. Non-boss enemies do not grant rewards when defeated. Also very gross. I don't like this at all. I could have just not applied those. I knew he was... I guess I didn't know how many were left in the stack. I don't have anything to do here, which stinks. Let's... Oh, that guy's gonna smash my spires. All of these guys are gonna smash my spires. Oh, he hasn't been activated yet. What am I doing? He'll activate soon. Oh, and this was also on there, so do I... My goodness. This guy activates next round. So now I have to plan for that. I still don't have much to do in the meantime. Oh, I actually doesn't make any difference. It does, though, because I can place a spire. Blam. Because then I can roll these dice. And that'll be great. Love it. Let's roll some greens for misses. This is an interesting pile because I almost don't use my greens at all. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 damage on him. He hits before Spire Fire phase. Oh no. It's not gonna matter. Oh, it stinks. All I can do is try to save that. All active enemies exhaust dice step. I just won't even place this then. It's not gonna do nothing because you're gonna be considered adjacent to all active enemies, so you're just gonna take hits from that guy. Oof. Yeah. Okay. That's I'm not gonna put any dice in. There's not really a reason to. I'm not gonna fire any spires because they don't have targets. And then enemies are gonna attack. This man's gonna blow up my cool spire. This man doesn't have a target. And then I recover a die. Oh. And then enemies are gonna activate. He's gonna move up here. I think I'm done though. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. We'll see. Usul comes up. Nestor does now activate. So he exhausts all of these. Just the worst news in the world. I like that this guy's effect only activates for the enemies that are under him, which is going to be great. So now I need to place a thing, certainly. I might as well place it here, I suppose. I have to roll this blue. No, the blue doesn't even do anything. Oof. Yeah, this guy's gonna have to smack me. That'll be great. Okay, never mind. I think we're still fine. Let's roll all the purples. See what we can do. That's 3 purple hits. It's whatever. Let's roll them all again. It's a nice miss. I don't actually want that though, no. The thing's gonna blow up no matter what. Okay, there's a crit. There's a crit. And a hit. Sure, okay. Exhaust that. This guy deals damage before Spire Fire phase. I will have him hit me for 2. Gross. Then Spires can fire. Let's put 3 here. Normally that would be the end, but all active enemies have +2 health, which is awful. And then let's put 2 crits onto this man. Or no, let's put this yellow crit on here, and then I will transform this yellow into a crit as well. With this ability, or no, that's foolish. I'll turn this purple into a crit and place that there. He has died because he is next to, or no, he is not. Oh, I do have to apply this as well because the stupid Nestor. Okay, that's enough to get him. Usul is, I instantly get some effects, but Usul is gonna bash this spire because he's next to it. Gross. My Empire is falling down around me. These exhaust. I draw 4 cards from the market stack, keeping 2. I need to reshuffle. All right. Water tower. It has been a good one for me. So I get to keep 2. Draw 4 cards, keeping 2. Okay, let's... Interesting. Let's get the artillery. Let's get the water tower. That has 2 spires. Discard the rest. And then +2 health. That's great. Okay, and then I get to remove you. You have died. I get to recover some dice. Let's recover. Wow, I'm that low on yellows. Oh, I need some recovery of dice. Oh, I was so greedy on it. I'll take 2 yellows, I suppose. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Recovering 2. All right, so enemies move. Usul comes down. Nestor comes down. Gross. Oh, now we're in their issue 2. Do I take damage right now? No new enemy was deployed from the stack to the top lane. I lose a health. I believe I lose a health right now because no new enemy came out. Do I want to place a spire? Probably. I gotta start putting damage on that dumb bird. Let's just roll everything minus the red because the reds are no good. Come on, man. That's a lot of green crits. The worst kind of crits. Okay, yellow crit is good. Yellow hit is also good, I suppose. Yeah, because then I can start converting them, but yes, that's good. Because this can turn into a blue hit here. Green crit can go here. Or green miss. He's going to blow it up either way, which stinks. And I can't place anything else. These all go away. Now I'm going to have to look if, well, how does enemies deploying work here? Relevant to play at any given time. All the cards on the enemy stack advance as a group, but only the top card on the stack can deal damage, have dice applied to it, and so on. Oh yeah, because they don't die instantly. That's right. I'm so bad at remembering how 20 strong works. Okay, so we're moving. We're into Spire's Fire. Poke one more on this fella here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from this. That takes care of him. So he's not going to attack. Let's fire this over on old Jelena. Nestor. That is the end of that phase. Enemies deal damage. This guy doesn't because he has died. This bird blows up this spire. That's so very sad. Now we are into the end part, so these clear off. Usul gives me stuff. Draw 4 cards, keeping 2. Recover 2 health. You go over here. You go over here. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pillar of Fire. Sure. Ration backpack, no. Toxic fumes, that's what we need right now. Yep. Oh, I keep 2? I don't even want to. Give me this backpack that gives me health, I guess. Or I could put a spire just to take a hit. Nah. I'm recovering dice too slow. Okay. I recovered 2. Let's get a blue. So I take a damage because no enemies are going to come out. Let's get a blue and another blue. Why not? It's 2 blues. 2 blues. 2 blues. All right. So we're going to place this. It's not going to do anything right now. Then it's going to blow up. Oh, I can't place it. It's no good. It's no good. Does this matter? Let's get a yellow instead of a blue from that recovery that I just did. Because then I can place this. And we can at least pretend to do something here. So we've placed. We've activated. We'll roll some dice. It's not very good. So we'll re-roll some dice. That's a crit. Okay. And then we'll do our last roll of dice. Come on, man. Okay. Yes. All right. So then we're moving into Spire's Firing. Plew. Pew. So you have 6 health. You have -1 health. You have 5 health. 1, 2. Convert one of these into a crit before applying. 5. Yep. So that one has died. This guy's got 6, 7 damage. Almost. Almost. Okay, so this guy will not be dealing damage. This guy will be dealing damage. This guy blows up this. This guy has died. Gives me an item. When this activates, I'm -1 health. No good. It says +2 attack while it's adjacent to 2 spires. Okay. I recover some dice. I recovered 2 dice. Eesh. 2 yellows, 2 blues. Oh, let's get a yellow and a blue. We'll see what we can do. Or, no, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. I think it's fine. Okay, yellow and a blue. Where am I recover? And he's activated. Couldn't add another one. Wow. I might be being too hard on myself on that. Who knows? Wow. That's not very good. Let's put a blue hit onto you. Let's re-roll this yellow 2 more times. Okay, 1 more time. Okay, that's pretty good actually. Okay, so this guy can turn one of these into a crit before applying it. Blow, hit, 3 damage, 5 health. Ugh. So this enemy will now hit for 4 damage. Yikes. That might be pretty close to Dunzo. I think that's just Dunzo, actually. No. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I didn't put enough in. I could have technically rolled this, I suppose. Let's have done that. Because otherwise we're just ending here. So let's say I did that. So this was actually, no, this was a hit. So let's say that was there. Let's have placed that there. Let's roll that blue. That blue was a hit as well. Sure. You can still do the conversion. 2 crit. 3. 4? No, that's still not enough. Right? No? So this would go here, this would go here. This could be a crit. No. I will have settled for one of the misses, let's say. Because then this miss can hang out here. So it goes, these hits hang out here, right? Lots of retroactive, because this is adjacent to 2 spires, so it does gain +2 attack, which is nasty. So how that works, it goes 1, remove this, 2, 3, 4, so this is the only way I could survive. And then we go to active, or recover. I don't have any ways to do it. My only spire is this. Oh, it's so close. That's so unfortunate. Because activation doesn't encompass anything other than activation. Yeah. I guess I could instead do the extra damage to me instead of one of these spires. Alright, let's say that. And then I skip activation this round, so I'm not technically taking damage from it failing to deploy an enemy. So I get to survive at 1. This is what you get to do with solo games. You just get to retroactively do everything. It's great. Place the toxic fumes there. Sure. Oh, I would have recovered some dice, of course. A yellow and a blue seems correct to have done. And then I would roll those 3 times and roll, of course, a bunch of crits. And there's 1. I need 1 more. Or just anything. Come on. Okay. So we put 3 here. 3, 4, 5. -1, so 6. That compensates for the +2 health. That's great. So this would die, and it's going to give me a stat or +2 health. I will discard this ration backpack to instead get +5 health. We're back at 6. Then we draw 2 market cards and keep 1. Got a proximity mine and a Kyra. Oh, these are both awful. So I guess we choose just my friend to hang out here next to us, providing no effects, because all it does is return all dice applied to enemies to my pool, which all of them are crits, so we probably don't want to do that. Jelena comes up, pokes me for 1 because I could not deploy a new guy. I would have recovered some dice, of course, a blue and a yellow. After the activation there, I can apply a dice from here, set to a hit. Let's put that red onto Jelena. 2, 4, 6, 7. I think she just dies then. Or is she technically an active enemy? I'll just roll. Just roll some extra hits. Why not? That's a crit. That's the extra 2 anyways. Blam. We did it. With no redos, no what ifs, just a clean, definite win of the game. That's Cloudspire 20 strong. Cloudspire 20 strong. And that is available for pre-order right now. It's very good. It's one of my favorites. It's very weird. I love not being able to roll dice against actual enemies. Also, Jelena was turning off crits on my red. That is what was happening there. So, pick this up in the store if it looked good to you. That is Cloudspire 20 strong. My DMV renewal fees are, jeez. Never spent that much at the DMV. But I don't have a car and I don't drive. Let's see here, am I missing anything? Any stuff? No. Okay. All right. So, again, 2 weeks' time, we'll be doing CTG Week. So that is a big old sales.
Scoot a bit to your left.
What? Scoot a bit to my left? My left?
Your left.
Stage left?
There you go.
I've wiped. I'm thinking about directions.
January 26th.
January 26th through the 30th is CTG Week. That is in less than 2 weeks. Monday through Friday we'll be streaming. Monday we'll be launching it off with a Q&A and some announcements. We're talking about our upcoming palette of stuff. And then we'll be going further into detail, further into the week. There will also be a week of sales. I believe they're going to coincide with what we're doing in some way. In some way.
Nothing final yet.
Nothing final. So Monday is the kickoff, where we'll have a nice official Q&A with both of our Joshes, who are so lovely and run this company well and good and keep it going, keep the lights on. On Tuesday, we're sitting down with Manny Tremblay, designer, one of the designers, Jump Masters, and then we'll be playing some Jump Masters. Are you talking about the other Josh 3? Josh 3? You ain't gonna be there.
He says, what do you mean, both?
There is no third Josh that works at Chip Theory Games, so there is just two. Tuesday, Jump Masters, probably some Fight 5, maybe some Neon Rain, who knows. But we'll be talking all things Neon Night. After that, we'll be back on Wednesday to break down the Awakened Realms decks. I'm very excited for you to see them because they're very neat. We'll be playing a 3-player game of Nemesis, 20-strong Nemesis. We'll be playing a 1-player game of the other ones because that's the only count they play, but that will be Tainted Grail and Ether Fields. Very excited for you to see those. They're wacky and exciting. Oh, that's mean. I'm a good Andrew. After that, we will be returning on Thursday for the Elder Scrolls Heroes of Tamriel stuff. So make sure to pop in, look at some Heroes of Tamriel stuff, some new stuff that they've been cooking up back in the old dev room there. And then on Friday, we'll be playing the big boy version of this game, Cloudspire PvP, with new factions and stuff, all looking nice. Chips stacked high, higher than these cards could ever dream to stack on Friday. That's CTG Week. I'm Andrew. This was a live stream. Thanks so much for tuning in, and check us out next time.
Bye.
Bye.